Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Empowered Pause. Good evening, good evening. I'm just going to allow a couple of people to join before I get started with today's topic. And I want to make sure I don't miss any comments on either page, so I'm just getting set up here. But good evening. How are you? Happy Wednesday, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Here we go. Good evening. I see someone's watching. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Empowered Pause. I am your host, Rachel Chenoa J. Welcome to those who are watching. If you feel like you want to drop a hello or a comment in the chat, feel free to do so. Good evening, Tanya. Good evening, AQ. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. So before we get started on this evening's topic, just a little information about us. Speak Initiative is a nonprofit organization committed to combating the rise of suicide in our communities. SPEAK stands for Suicide Prevention Through Empowerment, Action, and Kindness. As you can see by the banner below, we are still fundraising for the Empowered Pause and the other programs that Speak Initiative has already launched, which are the 90-Day Intensive and the Fearless Start. And we are also working on some programs that are coming forward in the future. If you would like to give or get more information about Speak Initiative and our programs, please feel free to visit our website, which is listed on the banner. If you are not looking at the banner, the website is www.speaksuicideprevention.org, and you can also find us on all social media platforms. So again, good evening. Welcome to the Empowered Pause. The Empowered Pause is just one of the programs under our empowerment philosophy, and we're live every Wednesday evening for a brief check-in where we, our speakers, and our listeners take a moment to pause, gather, connect, recharge, and offer some empowering words, ideas, or just space to be heard, right? So I just want to ask again, how is everyone feeling this Wednesday evening? Feel free to comment, like, and share this video. And again, this video is going to be saved so it can be viewed at a later time, right? Good evening, Tanya. No comment, so that's fine. We will jump right in, right? So this week we are still talking about kindness, and I found an article that I think would be really helpful. So first, a few days ago, I was speaking with a friend, and I'm usually challenged when it comes to mealtime because of food allergies and intolerances and stomach issues and a variety of things that come up. And sometimes I'm not really interested in eating, right? So this was one of those times, and my friend was attempting to help me by asking what I like to cook. Well, that one question took me down a road of memories and self discovery that helped me get a better understanding of a few of the challenges that I have encountered and continue to encounter, and how to possibly combat some of those present issues. So, today's topic is self discovery. Embrace the inner you that is you. What does self discovery actually mean, right? I actually found a great article that I'm going to read a short excerpt from, and I'll share the link in the comments after this live. So the article says, self-discovery is the process of understanding your true self, your values, your needs and wants, even what food you like and dislike. You might have naturally learned some of these things about yourself over time. Yet, for a lot of people, we have a way of losing touch with our values and hiding our own motivations and preferences, even from ourselves. Good evening, Lisa. Good evening. Thank you for commenting. Going deeper into self discovery can transform your life, basically. It's one thing to know your personality type or your favorite meal, but true self discovery starts when you evaluate your life and think about what's energizing and what's not. What will bring you more joy into your life? What inspires you to jump out of the bed each moment? So I'm going to pause here for a second. Some of us, we already know what energizes us and what doesn't. I personally have learned a bunch of things about myself throughout this journey, but does anyone have a thought of what truly brings you joy? What energizes you? Hi, Latia. Thank you for joining. How are you? Thank you for being here. Any comments about what actually energizes you or what does it? Do you know what those things are? If not, that's fine. But here I was learning again, and all I really wanted to do was eat in that moment, right? So let's continue with the article. Once you've discovered more about yourself, you'll have an easier time finding your life purpose and being your authentic self in work as well as in personal life. Understanding that what's been missing from your life will help you learn about yourself. Oh, thank you for the comments that are coming in. Lisa loves to exercise and learning energizes you. I see Latia said your children, which is beautiful. AQ said music energizes you. That's beautiful. It's great to know what those things actually are. Good evening, Dawn. Thank you for joining. Right? So you'll understand what's been missing from your life and you'll learn more about yourself. But don't think for any moment that you can finish this journey overnight. Self discovery is an ongoing process. It requires you to dive in and examine all areas of your life and take time to reflect. You'll need courage and resilience to stick with the process. In the process of looking inward, you may learn things about yourself that you find hard to accept. So, again, I'm going to pause here for a second because I have a short share. And I see the comments are still coming in. Thank you. Music, definitely music and singing are things that energize me as well. So, I definitely love that everyone is sharing what energizes you that you know of, right? Um, so the story goes, a few years back, I was tasked with a project that made me look inward more than I ever had. The goal was to write a word daily for 2 months that described myself. So that's 60 words for 60 days. I thought it was an easy win. One could think of one would think it would be fun to think of all the great things about yourself and all the pleasing adjectives that come up. A person thinks they're kind, they're motivated, they're caring, maybe intelligent, all of the positive stuff. But then I had to dig deeper and take a look at the things that were there that I didn't necessarily find pleasing. After I ran out of all of the adjectives that I could think of that were on the positive side, I had to struggle, and I said, well, there's some things in there that, they might not be that great. Maybe I want to look at those too. I know I can't be the only one who's had this experience. So, yeah, I know that self discovery isn't always going to be pleasant, but it's bound to be rewarding. And that exercise has helped me tremendously. So, the article continues. Don't worry, I won't be with you too much longer. There are endless benefits to learning how to start a self discovery journey. The important thing is to take the first step and just get started. So the article progresses to give some tips on a few of the steps of self discovery. These steps are not set in stone. You start wherever you're comfortable, and you're just starting that, even if you're just starting the journey for the first time, or maybe again, as I am, because it's consistent. Sometimes we have to be reminded to go inward just to check in with ourselves and see what's going on. So just because you do it when you're 40 and you did it when you're 42, I'm coming up on a milestone birthday this year. So I'm doing all types of self-discovery and relearning myself. But if you're doing it for the first time, acknowledge the amount of courage that actually takes. That's a great step to take towards yourself. So I just want to give you the few tips of self-discovery that the article shared along the way. And again, I'm going to put the link to this article in the comments after I finish live streaming. But I thought they were really interesting. They're not complicated. And they are little tips to give you a way to radically love yourself, as I mentioned last week. Okay. And again, if you don't have a pen and paper, if you don't want to remember this, it's fine. The recording is being saved, so you can always come back, share it. If these tips are helpful for you, they may be helpful for someone else, right? So, number one, work to be your best self each day, no matter what you're doing. Number 2, take risk and try new things. Number 3, hone in on your passions and what makes you excited. Number 4, understand your strengths and think about how you can apply them everywhere. Number 5, and this one I love, journaling. Start journaling your thoughts so you can reflect on them later. That's really helpful. Number 6, make sure you surround yourself with people who support you. 7 is learn from your mistakes and move on. 8, think back on your childhood and connect with your inner child again. 9 is to be curious and ask questions. And number 10, build habits that support your personal growth and your goals. And last but not least, number 11 is practice positive self-talk and reward yourself for your wins. And I love number 11 as well, because I love to reward myself for the small wins. Sometimes it's something as simple as going to a doctor's appointment that I dreaded. I may get a Starbucks after that and enjoy that because I did something that was challenging. So that's the gist of today. It's embrace the inner you. That is you with that self-discovery. As I mentioned last week, I believe that radical love is manifested when you are kind to yourself and I believe that this leads to kindness towards others that will spread and change our world. So take the time to do that self discovery. We're all in this together. If you need assistance, if you need words of encouragement, Speak Initiative is here. And we can connect you with like minded people who will be on that journey of self discovery with you. Thank you so much for allowing me to be with you for these few moments. And I hope this moment has helped empower or encourage you or another, and you may share this with them after I finish recording the live will be saved, so you can share, comment, like, send it out to the world and let them know that we are here. Thank you so much. Until next week, take care.